what's going on, everybody? Welcome back, and today we're going to be giving you, me and Joey here,
Yes.
our playoff brackets for trying to. So this is just a lot of speculation, trying to predict what we think the 2024/2025 NFL season bracket could look like. Realistically in a way. So here's how it's gonna work. So I got my bracket here. And I got Joey's bracket here, and I'm going to leave this decision up to Joey if he'd like to go first or not. Would you, Joey?
I get if you want to go first. I mean that sounds good. I mean, we're 4 months into 2025. We're almost into 4 months of in January, I think. Isn't it 4 months?
Something like that. All right. So,
like that.
anyways, yeah.
Yeah. So, basically, what we have here is our brackets for what we have for our playoff predictions. So you should go first, Matt.
All right.
Go first, Joe.
Okay. Thanks, Joey. All right. So, starting with the AFC wild card, this is what I think it could look like. I got the Jets getting this 7 seed, assuming that Aaron Rodgers hopefully plays more than 4 snaps this time. The Jets, like if they can find a way to get things going on offense, their defense was absolutely lights out last year, so that should make for good things and hopefully more than 7 wins. And I have them playing us, the Baltimore Ravens getting the number 2 seed. So Jets at Ravens, Jets at the 7 seed, Ravens at the 2 seed. I'm gonna have the Ravens winning that game and moving to the divisional round. And then yeah.
So, yeah, you do have the Ravens. That is pretty good, but here's something that I've learned that what happened to us when we played Green Bay is that Rodgers knew all of our plays, and he beat us at M&T. So I feel like this could be a sneaky game for New York. They could come in and possibly beat us. So if maybe that is the case, maybe the Jets go on because they haven't won a Super Bowl since 1968, 69. So they didn't win it back in the 60s. So that's something to remind them. Maybe they can win it again.
Yeah, that could happen. You never know. My only thing is once I feel like Rodgers starts playing, it's going to take him some time to get going. So that's the only reason I have him at the 7th seed and not higher than that. But I think they'll find a way to figure each out, assuming health plays a factor. So next up, okay, now I'm going to throw a shocker. Hear about this. I got the Denver Broncos at the 6th seed playing the 3 seed Houston Texans. I know you're already scoffing at that. The Denver Broncos? What are you talking about? Look, I got faith in Bo Nix. I like what I saw from him so far. He has a lot of college experience I think can carry over. And Sean Payton, this quarterback guru, I think will find a way to get the best out of him for sure. And then when you talk about the Texans, I mean, you got C.J. Stroud, who's the former offensive rookie of the year, right? Had one of the best rookie seasons of all time, right? So I think he will carry that over to a degree and lead the Texans to a wild card round. And I have the Broncos actually winning that game in an upset. So the 2 teams I have now moving on are the Ravens and the Broncos, and we'll arrange that in a second here. But I want to talk about who I have at the 5 seed and the 4 seed before we get to that. And I have the Chargers at the 5 seed going to Buffalo to play the Buffalo Bills, with the Bills at the 4 seed. And I'm going to be taking the Buffalo Bills now, and I think they get the win and move on. So we got the AFC. We're staying in the AFC for right now, and then we're going to get to the NFC. You had a question?
Yeah, I have a question, Joe. So you're saying the Bills are going to beat the Chargers. So that is a good prediction, but I think the Chargers have more, and they got a new coach named Jim Harbaugh. So basically, that could be a huge win for Los Angeles, in my opinion. But if we're thinking more of points, maybe it could be the Chargers. And I see what you did with the Texans. I think you did a good pick with the Broncos. I think because the Broncos are going to be rebuilding and seeing what they're made out of and maybe win their first playoff game because they haven't made the playoffs since they won the Super Bowl back in 2015. This is a really good prediction. Just I think the Chargers got a sneaky win against Buffalo, I believe.
Okay. So, thanks for sharing. So, we got the AFC divisional round now. And so, going off of seeding, it's the lowest seed plays the highest seed as we get further even into the Super Bowl as we approach there. So, I got the 6th seed Broncos going to play the 1 seed Chiefs. The Chiefs are the team I had with the first round bye. I think Mahomes will absolutely make it work with his new toys. And he's Patrick Mahomes, you can't deny that. So, and then so between the Broncos and the Chiefs, I have the Bo Nix ride unfortunately coming to an end in this one, and I have the Chiefs moving on to the AFC Conference Championship game for the 7th straight year in a row. That just seems absolutely crazy to say, and so I'll get to it in a second. Yeah. So, and then I got the 4 seed Buffalo Bills playing the 2 seed Baltimore Ravens. I have this game being in Baltimore with the Ravens at the higher seed, and I'm going to be picking the Buffalo Bills in an upset. I think Josh Allen finds a way to put the team on his back despite losing Matt Milano in defense. We saw down the stretch, Allen, even without that true number 1, 6-1 record for the Buffalo Bills the second half of the year, and won them that playoff game. Josh Allen, if he's the type of player many believe him to be, I think this is absolutely achievable and realistic. All right, so now I got the Buffalo Bills going to... Oh, sorry, did you have something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This Broncos and Chiefs, this could be a good upset for Denver. I think if Denver sneakily beats Kansas City, then they could go on to the championship game and maybe play Baltimore. And maybe if they play Baltimore, it could be Broncos could upset us at M&T. So basically, it could be either way at this point. So yeah, I mean, if Buffalo has a shot of even making the Super Bowl, it could either go in any way.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'll see what happens. I mean, only one way, find out. So next up, we got the AFC Conference Championship matchup. So the 2 teams I currently have left in the AFC remaining are the 4-seeded Buffalo Bills and the number 1 seed Kansas City Chiefs. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs will get the victory in this one, and I think they will be the AFC team that will be playing in the Super Bowl to try to get to that 3-peat. So next up, I got the NFC wild card. So the Cowboys I have getting the number 1 seed. I think I like the pace CeeDee Lamb is on. I think him and Dak have the strong chemistry, and Micah Parsons, one of the best defensive players out there. The absolute heart and soul of that defense, as you'd say. So next up, I have the 7-seeded Cardinals making the playoffs to play the 2-seeded Lions in Detroit. And I have the Lions getting that win over Arizona and moving on to the next round, which is the divisional round. And then the next game, I have the 6-seed Eagles going to Seattle to play the 3-seed Seahawks. And I have the Eagles getting that win in Seattle and moving on to the divisional round as well. And then we got the 5-seed Packers. If you haven't scoffed already, this is sure to, and I'm going to explain why. I'm going to put context behind it. Ready?
Yes.
You're not going to guess who I currently have at the 4 seed, and I bet Joey can because he's looking at it. But the winner of the NFC South, the weak NFC South, where you never know who's going to come out on top at the 4 seed, Carolina. I know you think I'm absolutely crazy. You think I'm absolutely. But think about it this way. So, the Buccaneers won that division last year. They were, I believe, 9-8 record, right? That kind of feels a little fluky to me. Like, I'm not sure if they can get back there again, especially without Dave Canales. I'll talk about Dave Canales a little bit in a minute, but the Saints are the other team involved in that division. Derek Carr, I'm not sure he's going to be the long-term answer there. Also, Dennis Allen could literally lose his job at any moment in coaching. So a lot of people are very high on the Falcons. They're pretty much like, if it's not the Panthers, it's going to be the Falcons. But I just think, like, when you, like Bryce, like, I feel like when you go through years like that, it really makes you mentally tougher. And he's got Dave Canales now. And remember, Dave Canales helped to Geno Smith in 2022 and Baker Mayfield in 2023. So if he can do it with those guys, why can't he do it with Bryce Young?
And I like your opinions, Joe, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't know why you would have the Panthers and the Seahawks, even though they're going to be eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, I get it, but like the Panthers don't even have a quarterback, and the Seahawks don't even have a quarterback either. So if we would be able to do this, we would be Eagles Packers because Panthers wouldn't win it. But I see like you have the Eagles and the Cowboys could win it, and the Lions could too, and then you said for the Cowboys too. So maybe that is a good one, but not with like the Panthers and like the Seahawks maybe. But that could be a good prediction maybe. I mean maybe if it's just gonna get to that point where we're gonna see some more upsets. I mean the Panthers had a great 2015 year where they went 15-1 and the help of Cam Newton, but they didn't win the game. But that was also, and then you did have the Cowboys beating the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that could go maybe to Kansas City, but I think more of Dallas. I think maybe the Cowboys have a sneaky way. Prescott has a sneaky ways with the Cowboys, so maybe they could beat them. And there could be a way where the Chargers could beat the Chiefs and go to the Super Bowl again. So this is actually a good prediction, Joe.
All right, well, thanks for spoiling my Super Bowl matchup, Joe. All right, but anyways, okay, in all seriousness, okay, NFC divisional round. I'll put more context a little later. So we got the 6-seed Eagles going to Dallas to play the 1-seed Cowboys, and I have the Dallas Cowboys getting the win in that one, moving on to the conference championship. First time since like the 90s, something like that, 95, 96. Next up, we got the 4-seeded Panthers, believe it or not, in the division round. I know, you can't take me seriously, but that's okay. Going to Detroit to play the 2-seeded Lions, and I got the Lions winning that one and moving on to the NFC Conference Championship game. So now the Conference Championship game, the two teams I have remaining for the NFC are the 2-seeded Lions going to Dallas to play the 1-seeded Cowboys, and I have the Cowboys taking that one, being one of the two teams to play in the Super Bowl, being the champions of the NFC. And then so that comes to talk about Chiefs and Cowboys for Super Bowl 59, and then between the Chiefs and the Cowboys, who's going to come out on top? You got Mahomes, who's arguably the face of the Chiefs and also the NFL, and CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons for the Cowboys, but I have the Chiefs getting the victory in this game and being the first team to three-peat in NFL history, because I truly believe that Patrick Mahomes is him, baby. So yeah, that's what I got. Oh, and by the way, let me talk about the teams that I replaced him with. So for the AFC, the teams I took out that made it last year were the Dolphins, the Steelers, and the Browns. So with the Dolphins, this is a team where they were back-to-back wild card exits, and it seems like whenever they play teams that are like even above average or slightly above average, they always find a way to like choke the game away and like don't really do well in games that mean like that, and they can't really win in cold weather either. So that's another thing. Like they're limited. Like they need to be a controlled environment. I feel like teams are starting to figure them out too. And then with the Browns, I mean, they got on a run with Joe Flacco, but now they're back to where they started before. They got Deshaun Watson again, which is not very good. They're probably going to be the final year he plays for them anyway. And then with the Steelers, I mean, what do we do in Steelers? I mean, like we're getting Russell Wilson, but like, you know, like that's not really like an upgrade to like what you had before too much, because in my opinion, in Russ we don't trust, and Russ is cooked. So yeah, that's what I think for the AFC. And then NFC, the teams, you're probably going to think, really, you took the 49ers out of there? Well, that's because I think I'm a firm believer that the Super Bowl hangover is a real thing. And I look at what's going on with them. You got McCaffrey with the calf strain. Dre Greenlaw is currently hurt, but it just like, I don't know. It's like one of those things. And also, within the past 4 years now, they've made the Super Bowl twice, lost both games, made it to the conference championship game 4 times,
Yes.
Only won 2 of those. So there's kind of like some kind of energy. Like I feel like that if that team hits the injury bug, which I'm predicting they will clearly in this bracket. If they don't, they'll probably do the same thing, maybe make it back to the Super Bowl. But I'm predicting they do because I just want to be different. So now with the Rams, so you got Stafford coming up in age, which in my opinion is kind of a red flag. How much longer can he play? I like Stafford. I support him, but I just feel like eventually there's an age cutoff. And with Aaron Donald retiring, that's a big loss on defense. Not that easy to replace. And what was the other team I had? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers feels too fluky. They don't have Dave Canales anymore. Look at Baker Mayfield in 2022 where he was shipped off from team to team. Didn't exactly look great. Now he's got expectations because people saw what he did last year, so they're only going to be going off of that. I'm not sold. Baker Mayfield, fluky season. In come the Panthers and Young that'll take that spot from them. So that's what I think. Now let's see what Joe thinks.
So I think the Niners have a chance to go into the first round, and the Chargers go into the first round for NFC and AFC. I think they get a week off. I think because you got Jim Harbaugh coming into out of his college coaching after he won the college football championship. I think maybe the Chargers have a chance with him, and I think they're going to get the bye week. So I had here was I didn't have the Raiders are not going to make it. I definitely think the Raiders are not going to make it.
I agree.
I don't think the Steelers or the Browns are going to make it. I don't think the Bills or the Dolphins are going to make it either. So if we're talking here, I think the Jets would be the sneaky team and somehow eliminate Buffalo and Miami in that division. New England's not going to do anything. And then the Bengals, I think, could go to number 1. The Ravens could go to number 2. Maybe they could go to first place, and the Ravens would go to second. But if that doesn't happen, I still see the Ravens getting that first place because we could still split it.
I see you got Joey's. So I'm not the only Bo Nix believer in the building. Joey's got the. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. I got the Broncos beating the Ravens because I love the Ravens, and I know they could have some good offense and defense, but it's just that the Broncos could be a little bit of a sneaky team and maybe get the win here in Baltimore. I think they're going to be a lot sneakier than I could imagine because I think of Bo Nix being really sneaky when he's playing. And you got Zach Wilson too, so maybe that could be a sneaky game for Denver to win. In the NFC, I got the Falcons and the Cowboys. This was a game that I wanted to pick. I picked the Cowboys because the Falcons. I got the Falcons to make the playoffs because they got a new quarterback now. They could be a lot improved. I don't think the Bucs or the Buccaneers or the Saints or the Panthers are going to make it. So I think the Falcons make it, just eliminating those two. And I think Dallas gets the win there. Prescott shows that the Lone Star State has a chance of winning a Super Bowl because back in 2023, the Rangers won the World Series, and it probably could have happened with him and the Cowboys. I mean, it hasn't happened before, but maybe it could. So that's that's another game. Packers and Bears. I have the Bears beating the Packers because I think the Bears are going to be a lot improved, and maybe they have a chance to beat Green Bay in the wild card because the Bears here, they could split the game against Green Bay and Detroit, but the Vikings aren't making it. They lost their quarterback. So maybe if the Packers just get one game out of those two and the Bears just sweep Minnesota, then I think I have the Bears winning against Green Bay. And I think it's really going to be a lot improved at that time. And then the Chiefs versus the Colts. The Colts, I think, are going to beat Kansas City because the Colts have a new quarterback named Joe Flacco. And Joe Flacco could sneakily beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think they can go on to the divisional round. Flacco has a chance of winning his second Super Bowl. And if he does win his second Super Bowl, I think there should be a parade in Baltimore City because of that thing.
One question I want to point out. So, Anthony Richardson, I understand maybe like he hasn't looked the best during the preseason, but like he's still projected to be the starter for my hair. Like, are you maybe like projecting he gets benched or he gets hurt or something like that?
Yeah, because Flacco could take the Colts to the Super Bowl, and if they win it, there should be a parade in Baltimore City. The city would be rocking because he won his second Super Bowl, not with the Ravens, but like with like him coming in there and we just be like waving to him, you know? Mm-hmm. City be rocking. But I just feel bad for Lamar Jackson because he hasn't won one yet. Tough times. I have the Lions versus the Eagles. I think the Lions come out and beat the Eagles because I think the Eagles are going to be they're going to be a little bad a little bit. So I think I have the Lions, but I think Philadelphia somehow gets some to like a 28-27. But I see the Lions beating them. I think because Philadelphia has like just a lot of doesn't have that much power against Detroit. So I got the Lions there. And then the Bengals versus the Jets. I have the Jets in this one because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to win his next Super Bowl and prove to them that they're going to be a good team this year. I think the Jets have a chance of upsetting Cincinnati and potentially make it into the Super Bowl this year. So I think that's a game that you should really highlight. And then I have the Lions and the 49ers. And I got the 49ers winning this one because Brock Purdy had a little bit of a sneaky win against Detroit. And I think Detroit comes there and does business against Detroit. I think they come out and stand up for themselves and prove a point that we're not going to beat a team that went 0-16. And I got the Broncos and the Chargers. I have the Chargers in this one because I think the Chargers have a lot of firepower and they can sneakily win it against the Denver Broncos. And I think it's going to be too much firepower for Denver. I think they drop that game. And then now we go to the championship games. I think, yeah. I think for the championship games, I got the Bears and the Cowboys. Where were the Cowboys? Oh yeah, the Cowboys. Yeah. Were they number 2? Or where were they when they?
You had the Cowboys at 2.
Yes, is this their championship game? Oh yeah, championship game. The championship game, I got the Bears and the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys are gonna win a championship game. I mean, the divisional round, meant to say.
Yeah, divisional round. This is the championship.
Divisional round, meant to say.
Yeah.
Divisional round. So Broncos and the Chargers, yeah.
Sorry,
so for the divisional round, I think the 49ers, the Chargers, the Bears, and the Jets both win the divisional round games. I just think that the 49ers have a chance of sneakily beating Detroit. I think they proved that they don't want Detroit in a divisional game. The championship game, and I think they come out with a win. I think Chargers had the same thing where they're going to be a little bit sneakier, and the Bears and the Cowboys. I'm going to have to go with the Bears in this one. I think Caleb Williams has a chance to prove to people that the Bears are not a bad team, and show that they can beat Dallas Cowboys. They can beat a team that can do good. I think they sneakily beat Dallas in the divisional round. I think the Bears sneakily beat them. And they got a new quarterback. And I think they come out with a win there. And then the Jets and the Colts. I got the Jets in this one because I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot of experience against teams. And I think he'll come in to Indianapolis and beat the Colts. So, and here's for for my championship race. I have the Bears and the 49ers and the Jets and the Chargers. I have the Bears beating the 49ers, I just think because a lot of that thing, because I think Caleb Williams comes up and surprises everyone in San Francisco, and the Bears, I think, make it to the Super Bowl.
Wow, you got the Bears in the Super Bowl. Wow,
Yeah.
what year is it?
I know. And then the Jets versus the Chargers. I have the Jets in this one because the Chargers are not going to get to the Super Bowl at any time. I think because the Jets have a lot of firepower and a way to really sneakily beat LA in the championship game. They come out and make a statement that they want to go to the Super Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers wants to win his second reign so he can retire. I think he does that in a good fashion. And for the Super Bowl, I have the Jets versus the Bears. This is one that I picked the Jets in this one. The reason why I picked the Jets to win the Super Bowl because I think the Jets are going to get a lot better, and after they win the Super Bowl against Chicago, they figure out what kind of team they are. They back in 1968, 1969, they beat the Baltimore Colts, and they beat them 16-7. And I think they come out and probably do the same thing, or maybe something different. Maybe they come out and beating them like 16-10 or something. I think I got the Jets winning the Super Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers getting his second ring as a New York Jet.
Amen. There you go.
And Caleb Williams, I don't think is going to win a Super Bowl this year in his rookie year. I think it's going to take time for him to win a Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to take another year.
No Super Bowl for you, Caleb, in week 1. No Super Bowl victory. Yeah, let me know, or let us know what you guys think when you see us in person, not in the comment section.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me know. Like, am I crazier for thinking the Panthers are going to win the division and make the playoffs, or the 49ers are going to fall apart and miss the playoffs? Let us know. I'd love to get. I'm just hoping at least one of those things happens, so I at least feel somewhat intelligent. But it would be great. Like I'm just trying to be as accurate as possible. I honestly don't care at the end of the day how well I do. It's all just speculation, fun and games. That's what I got. And Joey, you got anything else?
And laughter and things to make stuff may become a prediction, may become true, maybe it doesn't come true. It's all up to you. You can make your own prediction. If it doesn't come true, it doesn't come true. It's all up to you.
That's what I mean. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.